You guys, everything great comes after extreme periods of toughness. And you got to think, if you want a lot of great, you've got to start chasing toughness. Now, if we think about this, guys, this is how I see life. Most guys just stay in the comfort zone. They stay in mediocre. They stay in average. So like today, right? It's a pretty cloudy day here. And it's just mediocre all day. Now, I would rather it be rainy and dark for half the day and sunny as fuck for the other half of the day. Okay, when it's cloudy all day, guys, it's like dying a slow death. And that's how most guys live. They live in the comfort zone. They live in the cloudy day. No, it's not worst. It's not the worst. It's not the rain. It's not the dark. It's not the wind. It's not the hurricane. It's just a cloudy fucking day. Every day. And you are dying a slow death. This is how most of you guys live and operate. You guys are 20, 25, 30, 35 years old, and you are dying a slow death because you are just in the comfort zone. Whereas you guys, if you want the sun, you want the 35-degree sun, you've got to start looking for the toughness. You've got to start looking for the darkness. You know, I've been really ill this week, guys. This last week, you know, I had barley belly. Major, and I don't get ill. I've not been ill in years now. And I'd been back to the UK, I'd been Dubai, been UK, had a lot of travel, probably had a bit of fatigue on the body, and come back and obviously weren't used to some of the bacteria right here, and I was ill, and I was just smashed out on the toilet, throwing up every single 10 minutes for 6 days. And it was just demon world, okay? And the second I could pull myself and drag myself up, I was like, right, gym, let's go. Because I'd come back to a level where it was cloudy and it was just mediocre. It was comforting and it was just nothing good was happening. I mean, we were talking about a small window of time. I'm very self-aware. This was within the first day. I was, 60% plus. And do you know what I needed, guys? This was yesterday. I needed a demon session in the gym. You guys have all had it where you've not been in the worst place. You've just felt like, you just felt down. And I'd lost my flow state. I'd lost my momentum. I'd lost all that flow state from just hitting the daily habits every day. The process is everything, guys. That's how you keep it sunny. And that had gone. And I knew that I couldn't just stay in this comfort zone to get back to this flow state. Your flow state, the sunny days, are rewarded when you take yourself into hell, when you create hell. Now, the cloudy days feel like hell for you because you're in the clouds for weeks and weeks and months and years and a fucking lifetime. So it feels like hell. But you need real hell. You need real hell for 1 hour. You need real hell for 2 hours. You need real hell for 6 hours. You need to find hell every day to find the sun. You need light and dark every day. You don't want a little bit of light. You don't want just that hazy cloud all day, 24 hours a day. You want light and dark. You need those habits that absolutely take you. You need to become hell, as David Goggins would say. You've got to find it. And you got to think about it like this, guys. If you want to get from this life of just mediocrity and comfort and hell, you've got to bounce that ball down into the fucking floor so it bounces back up. And you've got to be prepared to go through this daily. Otherwise, you stay in this daily, which seems like comfort, but it's killing you. Going through life like this at mediocre is awful. Guys, I can tell you this right now. I am living what I would have dreamt of, years ago, this life. And I'm telling you now, even if you go through any level of life like this, it's suicide, guys. Don't think that when you just have everything, you've got the house, you've got the cars, you've got the chick. Don't think life, you just pause all of these habits and you just go about life in a different way. No, to stay fulfilled, to stay actually happy as a guy, you need that psychopathic hell in your day. I can't be happy just having the things, guys. I find my happiness from going from the hell to having the contrast to the sun. That's what makes it, guys. And I had to go through a demon session. I put on one of those motivational speeches that I've not listened to in years because I'd just been in a hole. And I just go in and I get this speech on and I'm just grinding in the gym. I literally had to go throw up in the toilets. I had to go to hell. And I got that pump back for the first time after 6 or 7 days. And I came out of that session and it was like I was on drugs. I'd been from this straight line here down into the dungeon and ping back up. And that has just started this chain of flow state, guys. I'm back in a flow state. People always say, how do you get back into flow state when you drop lower frequency, when you're in that line of comfort? You have to go to hell. Okay, guys, it's so important. You know, you got to think about like the life you're living. It's all a choice. It's all a choice. Think about it. Most guys, every single day, they have 100, 200, 300 plus left and right junctions. And the left, there's a little roadblock. And the right is just a clear road. 99% of people just take the clear road. 1% look at the roadblock and they don't see, pain. Go right, they go, pain. That's the way. Pain is the route. Pain is the path, guys. When you lean into pain and you see that roadblock and you attach dopamine to that roadblock, to that pain, to that demon session that you know no one's going to do, to that early wake up at 3, 4 a.m. that you know not everybody else is doing, to doing that extra bit of work on your business when you just really can't be fucked, that nobody else is doing. That's the way. You're never going to find pleasure in the 99% path. Your pleasure will always come from pain. When you realize this, guys, when you have this epiphany, like euphoria moment, your life's going to completely change. You're going to look at pain right now maybe as like this bad thing and this thing you want to avoid. But when you get your mindset and your paradigm in the right lens, you're going to be like, no pain, that way. And you actually feel better. You can even feel how it's going to feel before you've gone through the pain because you're like, I know what's going to come, because you start to associate this pain with winning. By choosing not to go into the demon pain, you choose a constant life of this. A constant life of fucking bullshit, of gray, gloomy clouds. Run into the dungeon. Get fucking dark. Stab these fucking knives into you and feel like you're going to throw up. Feel like you're going to have to fucking tear your eyeballs out, and you will come out high as a kite. That's how you've got to be. You've got to go through this every day. You've got to perform the habits at such an intense level. That's what rewards you with flow state. It's sacrifice, guys. There's so many different areas you can implement this, but you've got to get psychopathic. If you want to feel this constant high of universal energy, it's sacrifice. It's competitiveness. You're a man, you've got testosterone. I'll tell you something, guys. You know, when I'm on the bike in the gym, I was on a call with some of my elite fitness and mindset clients the other day, and they were asking me like just plucking my mind on, in certain scenarios, what do I do, and like at what level do you need to be mindset wise? How do you think? Like I always say, if you can have the belief systems, mental syntax, like the thoughts, the processes, what's going on, that's internal dialogue, and the physiology of someone with results, you'll be able to get there too. Anybody can. Nobody is better than anybody else. You've just got to adopt that, okay? And stay humble and fucking get stuck into the process. And one of the things I was telling my clients about was, it's how when I do my cardio, it doesn't matter Doesn't matter what the scenario, doesn't matter what I've got on, it doesn't matter if I've got a date night that evening, it doesn't matter if I've got to get back and I've got like another 3 hours of work to do in the evening. If I'm on the bike, I have a rule. I'll be doing my cardio, and let's say I'm doing 35 minutes. I always say you got to do 35 plus 1. Or if you're doing 20 minutes cardio, you got to do 20 plus 1. You never stop at the minute you assign. So if I'm doing 35 minutes of cardio 6 days a week, it's 35 plus 1. Always plus 1. Find the extra level of pain. Now, my brain is one of those where, let's say I'm on the bike and I'm at 35 and I'm going into my plus 1, and some other guy comes and gets on the bike next to me. I'm not getting off that bike until he's got off that bike. If he's got 40 minutes of cardio to do, if he's got 20 minutes of cardio, if he's got 2 hours of cardio, I don't care. I'm not getting off that bike until he's off that bike, even if I've already done my 35 minutes plus 1. I will take myself. It's about saying to yourself, I'm going to fucking do shit that nobody else is going to do. When you start taking it to that level of pain, you build that level of conviction and trust with yourself, and you take so much pleasure from the pain of doing what nobody else is going to do, you are going to have so much fucking flow state. You are going to be walking around the street. You are going to be looking in the mirror. You are going to be working on your business and going, there is nothing I can think of that I can't fucking achieve. That is the level of mindset you have to be at. And sometimes, guys, it's going to be stripped away. You're going to get back into that comfort lane. You know, like I said, maybe you get that bit of illness or you travel. You know, a lot of times, like, guys, like, I've built this great life of freedom, but I like my fucking routine. I like it hard. I don't like the travel. I went back to see my family. I don't just choose to go on holidays anymore, despite that I can. And I know even just from going back to see the family, I came back here, and just before I got ill, it was like, you gotta get back into that demon zone. And I like it hard. I like it disgustingly hard. You gotta be a psychopath, guys. That's how it needs to be. You know, you are never gonna create some crazy level life, you know? Everything I've got, like right now, I mean, you can't even see, I don't know why it's not focusing, guys. But like, this life, all of this, guys, all this life that has come to reality, it all means nothing without a process. It all means nothing without pain. It all means nothing without flow state. It means nothing at all. If I'm just in this villa in Bali or in Dubai, and I'm just staying the same, no improvement, staying in that lane of gray, gloomy clouds like it is today, guys, it's a slow death. It doesn't matter what, I don't care what level you guys are at. You guys might be already making 20, 30, 50 grand a month. I don't care. Like, some of these numbers for some guys will sound crazy. For some guys, they might sound small. Some guys, you may be just like where I were back in the day, 2 grand as an engineer, and you're wanting to just get to maybe 10 grand a month online, 5 grand a month online. It doesn't matter. If you are not growing, you are dying. If you are just living in that comfort zone of what you think is easy, you miss out. You don't ever get. You can't get that bouncy ball high unless you fucking bounce it. You know? Right now, yours is just cruising along here. You gotta fucking send it down to the fucking dungeon and bounce it the fuck back up into the clouds. To the fucking space. That's what you gotta do, guys. So every day you need to wake up and think, how can I fucking bounce this ball so far fucking down? What can I do? Early wake up, hit the habits, hit the gym session, hit the cardio, hit the macros. Do that work block that you didn't want to do every single night. Did I do enough? Did I do enough? 1% better every day. This is what you got to do, guys. Get yourself back into flow state. Get yourself to the point where you can fucking throw up every day and you're going to fucking live a crazy good life. I always say, guys, there's all the things you think you want and there's the things you need. And I know this from wisdom, you know. I had nobody to tell me this. There's all the things you want. You know, there's the luxury villas, there's the cars, there's the women, there's all this stuff. And then there's what you need. And don't get me wrong, guys, everything you want, you should go get. It's always better to have what you want than not have what you want. But I wouldn't trade, I would trade all of everything I've achieved in my life, I would trade all of it for my daily process of hard fucking shit to get that feeling intrinsically that I've fucking done the shit I know I need to do. That is everything, guys. Your process. The things you need are your process. You need the version of yourself that you become from doing your process, from sending yourself into the fucking demons every day. And 3, because of the level of the man you become and the lens you get to see the world through, you now get exposed to even higher level people who are a byproduct of being the high level individual yourself. So the process, who you become, and the others that have become something great, you get to surround yourself with as well. They're the only 3 things you need. Nothing that you want on top of that will ever make you feel the way you want to feel consistently. You need your process. You need to build the man physically. You need to become a fucking savage. Mentally, spiritually, you need to be aligned in all areas. And then, as a byproduct, without even trying, you're going to get good people around you. You're going to get the highest level woman. You're going to get the highest level lads in your network around you. That's all that matters, guys. Send yourself to hell. Make you hell. When you become hell, that's where you're going to find heaven, guys. All right? You're never going to find heaven just comfortably, making the same decisions, taking the same path as everybody else. When you get to that junction and you see pain, that's where everybody else stopped and turned down the easy route. That's where you get going. That's where you get going. Let's go.